Hello. In this video, we will learn about cell-to-cell communication. Let's get started. In a multicellular organism, different cell types specialize in different work. For example, pancreatic cells specialize in secreting digestive enzymes. Muscle cells specialize in contraction. Fat cells specialize in storing energy. And cells in kidney specialize in excretion. However, this isolated specialization is not enough. The cells must coordinate with each other. If one cell needs something, it must say that to other cells, and the cell capable of helping must respond. In short, cells in multicellular organism must communicate. This communication is done by chemical messengers. When a cell has to say something, it releases chemicals. These messengers travel to the target cells. The target cells have receptors that receive these messengers. Then the cell gives an appropriate response. So these are three basic things in cell-to-cell communication: chemical messengers, traveling some distance, and receptors. Now we have something more to learn about each one of them. First, let's see chemical messengers. They are also called signal molecules. Different types of molecules can work as chemical messengers. They can be peptides and proteins, for example insulin, steroids like aldosterone, amines like epinephrine, and other small molecules such as amino acids, nucleotides, ions like calcium, and gases like nitric oxide. So this was about messengers. Coming to the second part, traveling. Based on how far the messengers travel, communication can be divided into four types: endocrine, paracrine, autocrine, and juxtacrine. In endocrine signaling, the target cells are far away. So, messengers are released into the blood. They travel along with the blood and reach the target cells far away. Such messengers are also called hormones. The entire endocrine system is about this type of communication. For example, beta cells of pancreas release insulin that enters the blood and goes to adipose tissue to increase its glucose uptake. Now the paracrine signaling. In this, the target cells are nearby in the same tissue. One type of cell releases chemical messengers that target a different type of cells in the same tissue. For example, enterochromaffin-like cells in stomach secrete histamine that acts on nearby located parietal cells to increase acid secretion. Another example is synaptic signaling, where the axon of one neuron releases neurotransmitter that act on other neuron. So this was paracrine signaling. Now the autocrine signaling. In this, a cell releases messengers that affect the same cell or other cells of the same type. For example, some cancer cells release growth factors that affect the same cancer cells to promote their own growth. Finally, we have juxtacrine signaling. In this, cells communicate by making direct physical contact. For example, gap junctions between smooth muscle cells. They allow the passage of small ions like calcium and sodium, making the cells electrically connected. So this was traveling part. Now let's see something more about receptors. As we have already seen, they are the signal receivers. They are found on the cell membrane as well as inside the cell. The membrane receptors are for hydrophilic signal molecules. For example, peptide hormones. Such molecules cannot cross the lipid bilayer. So receptors for them are expressed on the cell surface. Inside the cell, receptors can be found in cytoplasm and nucleus. These receptors are for hydrophobic signal molecules like steroid hormones. Such messengers can cross the lipid bilayer and bind the receptors inside the cell. So this was about the location of the receptors. Once the signal molecule binds with the receptor, the role of the target cell starts. It includes a cascade of intracellular signaling and eventually the response. but these are the topics for separate videos. Now let's have a quick summary. Cells in multicellular organisms coordinate their activity by communicating with each other. This communication occurs by chemical messengers. Such messengers can be peptides, steroids, amines, or other small molecules. After getting released, these molecules travel to the target cells. Based on how far they travel, communication can be endocrine, paracrine, autocrine, or juxtacrine. In endocrine signaling, molecules are released into the blood and affect a cell located far away. In paracrine signaling, one type of cell releases a messenger that affects a different type of cell in the same tissue. In autocrine signaling, cells release molecules that targets the same cell or other cells of the same type. In juxtacrine signaling, cells communicate by direct physical contact. The signal molecules bind with receptors on the target cells. Hydrophilic molecules bind with receptors on the cell membrane, and hydrophobic molecules cross the lipid bilayer and bind with receptors inside the cell. Various types of receptors are ligand-gated ion channels, G-protein coupled receptors, catalytic receptors, and nuclear receptors. That's it for this video. If you feel this video will help your friends and colleagues, please share it with them too. And don't forget to subscribe because lots more to come. At Nonstop Neuron, learning medical concepts is as easy as watching cartoons. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.